Hello all, welcome to my channel Brilliant Bankers. In my previous video we were discussing about pillars of information security, which includes hardware security and software security. So in this video we are going to discuss about physical security. Physical security is designed to ensure the physical protection for the IT assets like facilities, equipment, personnel, resources, and other properties from the damage and unauthorized physical access. So this is also ensured to make security measures for in order to protect the physical threats, including theft, vandalism, fire, and natural disasters. The physical security is often this is the first ever concern in facilities with a high asset concentration and especially with use in critical system for business process. So this physical security is especially important for IT resources for their proper operations and for protecting the hardware assets and infrastructure which that are running and keep away from anything that could hinder their function. So this includes that by tampering by unauthorized personnel and unforeseen events like accidents and natural disasters. So this physical security is to protect the IT assets, mainly to protect the IT assets. So these having two phases. One is deterrence and the other one is detection. So deterrence is a method and measures which is taken to deter the attackers to and intruders to prevent natural events and accidents from affecting protected assets. So this may have this deterrence is having two ways. One is showing the signs, warning signs, and the next one is having the physical barriers. The science is that showing a warning sign that any intruder, whoever enters into it, will have to face the physical harm or the prosecution. Next is physical barriers. Physical barriers are meant for the like external factors, like protecting from external factors like storms or vehicular accidents. Next is detection. Detection is that we are allowing a person or allowing a security personnel to detect and locate the intruders by using some surveillance cameras, motion sensors, security lights, and personals like security guards and watchdog. Next is network security. Network security is that it is an procedure which has been implemented by the network administrator to keep track on the unauthorized access or exploitation, modification, or denial of the network and the network resources. So this means that a well implemented network security to block virus, malware, hackers, and from accessing or altering secure information. So this first layer of network security will be enforced through with the username and the password mechanism. So when we are giving the password and username, the user will be allowed to access with the customed privileges. So when the user is authenticated and granted specific system access, the configured firewall will enforce the network policies that is accessible for the user services. The firewall alone does not always detect or stop the viruses and harmful malware, which may lead to data loss. We have to install an antivirus software or a intrusion prevention system, that is IPS, which is implemented to prevent the virus or then harmful malware entering into the network. So you should not get confused with the network security and the information security. This is have the network security have some different scope with the all data integrity forms like print or forms, print or electronic form. So network in security is different from information security. Network security is that it is an implemented procedure by an administrator to keep track on the unauthorized access. Okay. Next, we are going to see some cyber crimes related to this securities. Okay, masquerade attack. Masquerade attack is that uses a fake identity, such as the network identity, to gain some unauthorized access to a personal computer, to get an unauthorized access to personal computer. Like it is like something like pretending like someone else in order to gain access to the system or the data. So this is exactly meaning like pretending like a legitimate user or a system to trick the other user to get some sensitive information or granting access to the restricted areas. So this is what called masquerade attack. So if we see an example, like if a person leaves the terminal or a session open and logged in, the coworker or someone else can act as a masquerade attacker. So vulnerable authentication is one of the other factors that can trigger a masquerade attack, and it helps the attacker to gain access much more easily. Okay, so here we vulnerable authentication is one factor. So for this, we have one more example here. That is, unique IP address is assigned to each individual computer. So we know that unique IP address is for each computer we have an unique IP address. So this hacker, what he will do, he'll convince like another system that it is authorized user through spoofing, essentially convincing that target computers that the hacker's computer has the same IP. So this hacker will convince the other system with with as an authorized user which is having the same IP address. So this is what called masquerade attack. This trapdoors. Trapdoors is like a backdoor. This what they do is this will make a defect in the computer code that allows some malicious software to enter in and to gain all the gain access on data or files or personal informations. So we have heard of many malicious software, for example Trojan horse. So if this what the Trojan horse does is they traps the and stores the user login and credentials, and it will send to the malicious hackers or the attackers who later then log into the login and they'll pretend like a real and authorized user. So this is what called trapdoors. So this trapdoor is also called as backdoor. So please take a note of it. Next is BYOT. BYOT is that bring your own technology, or it is otherwise known as bring your own device. So in some companies the employees is being allowed to bring their own electronic devices, personal ones, from home to work. So this had greater advantage for them to work peacefully with their own devices. So later, before the employees were thrilled to have their company phone, but now they are become stuck with their anything which is latest and greatest models. So when the people increase dependence on personal mobile devices in many life areas, it's no wonder they want to be able to access company emails and applications without giving up the convenience of their favorite devices. So these are the securities, some cyber crimes related to securities. So next we are going to see a few internet crimes. So this all these terms would be very familiar, but still we'll see little in detail. Okay. Next, first one is virus. Virus, you know, it is a type of a malicious software, which is a piece of code that is attached to the legitimate program, which spread throughout the computer files or replicates throughout the computer files without the user knowledge, and it's spread through the email or a message attachment that activate only when it is opened. So this virus perpetuates or intrude as an infected emails are forwarded to multiple users. So virus also spread through the shared media, which is called universal serial bus. Okay, so by installing an antivirus, we can prevent, block, or remove previously installed virus. Next is a worm. A worm is a type of, again, a malicious software which replicates only when moving through across the computer and leaves a copy of itself in the memory of the computer in its path. So this worm which spread into the user contacts via his email account or an address book, and some worms do nothing while others cause harm. In such cases, the worm code is also known as payload. Okay, next is malicious software. Malicious software, as you know, it is a piece of code which can bring harm to the computer, and this malicious software also can be in the form of like a virus, trojan, spyware, adware, and rootkits. So we'll see all these few malicious software in detail. Okay, these are all which is same thing which is explained before. Next is adware. It is a kind of malicious software. Adware is a free computer software that contains commercial advertisements. So you would have experienced this when you open a website. You can see many pop-up commercial ads which comes on regarding games, desktops, toolbars, or utilities. So this it is commonly adware is a web-based and collects web browsers data or target the advertisement, especially that pops up. So adware is also known as freeware or a pitchware. So adware is categorized as two types: legitimate and spyware. Legitimate is free or trial product sponsored advertisement. Spyware is a track it pops out the messages regarding free or trial product on sponsored advertisement. Spyware is that it tracks the user's preference and it sends some advertisement and compromises the privacy. So this is adware. Next is Trojan horse. Trojan horse is again a piece of code which is being activated and cause some harm to the computer. So this Trojan horse is also known as Trojan virus or Trojan. So the following are the types of Trojan horses. That is backdoor Trojan. It opens a backdoor for the user to access a victim's system at a later time. Downloader. This Trojan downloads a malicious software and causes harm to the victim's computer. Next is info stealer. This Trojan attempts to steal the information from the victim's computer. Next is remote access Trojan. This can be hidden in the games or other programs of a smaller variety and give the attacker control over the victim's computer. Next, data sending Trojan. This gives the penetrator perpetuator sensitive informations like passwords or other informations programmed to a hijacked. Next is destructive Trojan. This destroys the victim's files. Next is proxy Trojan. As a proxy server, this allows the attacker to hijack a victim's computer and conduct illegal activities from the victim's computer. Next is spyware. Spyware is a software that secretly monitors the unsuspecting users. So this spyware exploits the user and application vulnerabilities, and it is often attached to the free online software downloads or to links that are clicked by the users. So this proliferation of spyware is increased when the peer-to-peer file sharing has been increased. So to stop this or to prevent this, we can install an anti-spyware application which is used to locate and remove the spyware. And it is recommended as a preventive line of defense against infiltration and damage. So this antivirus software removes only PC viruses, but it can always cannot scan the spyware. So the spyware and cookies are similar, but spyware conducts infiltration activity continuously until it is being removed by the specific anti-spyware tools. The user should take the following precautions to prevent spyware attacks. First, to maintain an antivirus and anti-spyware updates and patches. Next, to download from well-known and reputable sites only. Next, use a firewall for enhanced security. Next is internet bot. Internet bot is the bot which is automated application used to perform simple and repetitive tasks that would be a time consume and mundane or impossible for a human to perform. So this bot term is being arrived from the word robot, and the internet bot may also be known as the web robot or www robot. So other examples for the internet bot is that internet chat bots and chatter bots. Next is rootkit. Rootkit is a software used by a hacker to gain constant administration level access to a computer or a network. So this rootkit is typically installed through the stolen password. It is being installed through a stolen password or by exploiting a system vulnerability without the victim's consent or knowledge. So In rootkits, we have following methods. Some of the impacts of rootkits are often to provide the attacker with complete backdoor access, permitting them to falsify or steal documents. Next is hide other malware, especially keyloggers. The keyloggers may then be used to access and steal the victim's sensitive data. Next, enable the attacker to use the infected machine as a zombie computer to trigger attack on others. Next is spoofing. Spoofing is that generally sending some information um, disguised as a legitimate um, account. So sending some emails, or it is a general, is a fraudulent or malicious practice in which communication is sent from an unknown source disguised as a source known to the receiver. That is sending some emails or messages disguising as it is a source which is legitimate. The spoofing is more relevant in communication mechanisms that lack a high level of security. So we have email spoofing also. This email spoofing I've already explained in my previous video. So thank you for watching. Hope you like my video. If you like my video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.